Here it is, folks. Y'all see the name Code and Commentary, diving into the business of technology with a fresh perspective. Y'all know me, James Hicks, and my guy over here to my side. This is a selfish endeavor to have him episode number one. Butch McCracken, how you living, sir? Appreciate you for being here, man.
My brother, thank you for the invitation, James. Every time you call, it's always an opportunity to just get on and throw it around and learn a little bit, share some knowledge, and
Yeah,
inspire folks. Thank you.
there it is, man. We gonna chop it up. We gonna chop it up, and we so the premise for folks tuning in and chiming in. Appreciate y'all for joining in as well. Tell us where you're joining. We are streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Depends on how bad we talk about somebody. I might put this on LinkedIn too. So watch what you say now, Butch. Watch what you say. This may go on LinkedIn here in a couple hours. But the idea is to talk about technology, consumer technology, enterprise technology. But again, like I say, from a different perspective, from a culture perspective, from folks that look like us getting into these types of conversations. Yeah, we can get down with the shays. We can get down with all the other stuff, but let's have a higher level conversation about stuff that kind of matters that we are involved with on an everyday basis. So let me start by I guess going down some talking points and just getting your perspective on them. And I want to get kind of a broad overview, right, of the impact of technology from your perspective, right? So we're both in enterprise technology. We're not going to
Yeah,
divulge anything in terms of organizations, things like that. But we've been in enterprise technology for decades. You might be a little bit older than me, but we won't get into that either. But
yeah. I showed up a minute ago, man. But you know what? The advantage that we have is that I think we're kind of like historians
hmm,
as it pertains to technology, and because we've seen things go from you know decade to decade and different programs, different interfaces, all of these things kind of show up. We've seen a number of things come and go,
hmm,
and understanding, now looking at things from an AI perspective, but with a historical lens, we can see what's going to be profitable. We can see what's going to actually be tangible for the businesses. So, this is a good time to be in technology, my humble opinion.
so when you say be in technology, and Laura, we see and appreciate for being here. Florence, appreciate you for being here as well and chiming in. Being in technology as in working necessarily in technology, or just being aware of what's transpiring in technology. And it may be a loaded question because I think I know your answer, but I don't want to assume, and I want folks to kind of get some of that McCracken love as well. uh, but again, it's a different concept because again, we've been in technology, especially enterprise, for such a long time. But knowing what's going on, knowing the trends, knowing what's today, what's tomorrow, and even after tomorrow. So short, mid, and long term, having awareness of that conversation, or just, well, let me not put words in your mouth. What are your thoughts on that?
You know,
Being aware of technology or actually working within the field.
I think I'll start with working in the field because that's where you see the most input. Immediately, you can tell what components of different jobs are now being taken over
Hmm.
or being diverted to technical solutions, artificial intelligence solutions. Uh, and when you look at that, I think we're in an era of not whether we can accept that artificial intelligence will be a prevalent part of our business. It's a matter of looking at artificial intelligence as a coworker, and can we trust their answers?
Hmm.
You know, we're got to look beyond what they can do and now look at the transparency label and say, is it trustworthy? Because now, can I let it land the plane? Can I let it do the heart surgery?
There you go.
Well,
There we go. Now you're making it plain. Now, see that those are the conversations that I want to have. Okay, keep going. Yes, sir.
so so we're in a place we're in a pre-trust phase of artificial intelligence, and we're trying to get the models together so that transparency kind of rules, and the open system that are out there give us a platform for looking at the deep detail in the code. But there's competing models, there's competing approaches.
All right.
Everybody is touching this in a different way. From sales.
Everyone's building a large language model out there, and
Oh, oh, Yeah, I think we're building a large language model in our own phones, and we don't even realize it yet. Maybe.
Truth. Truth. So let me ask you this. And senior, I see my dad's in the building, so the show is officially on point. We have officially started. Thank you, sir, for being here. Let me ask you this. I'm a EV guy. You see him on the wall back here, and you've known that. You know I'm a Tesla fan. I'm an investor as well, and all of that. Are you, speaking of AI and taking over, and like you say, letting AI land the plane?
Yeah.
Have you driven an electric vehicle before?
I have, and it is almost like I said, you see what it can do, and you go like,
Yeah.
what this,
So
and I know.
I'm very comfortable with it. That's what I'm asking, right? In terms of taking the hands off the wheel and letting autopilot do its thing. And it's crazy that the car will make the turns, it'll make the merges, it'll speed up, it'll slow, it'll drive me from my house to the gym, and I just have to nudge the steering wheel every 14 seconds just so it knows that I'm not asleep.
Just so it
Would you
realize,
be comfortable of doing that on I-5, driving driving up and down the road?
well, I-5 is mostly braking,
Oh, see, there he go. See, okay,
opposed to
come on.
acceleration. This is my experience. I'm a Texan, man. I'm a 635 and a 75 kind of guy.
Okay, there he
All the
go.
way up to exceptional day. But I know I-5 all the way up to Seattle, and there's a chunk of that where you can get where you're really going to spend a little time talking to your neighbors, right?
Truth.
But if you allow AI to do that for you, man, these cars are phenomenal. Planes are going to be even more phenomenal with the new technology, and I believe cars are going to be talking with each other to let them know, hey, there's an alert up here on the right. You may need to veer into the left lane. There's going to be a lot more communication between these different devices than we could ever think. We're just on the very edge of technology changing everything.
Yeah. The onus of that evolution, though, is it? Two questions. Do you think is it moving too fast or fast enough? Is one
Oh,
is one question. Just moving into this generative AI field, and against us being an enterprise technology in that field. But should there be somebody overlooking to make sure that the Musks and the Bezos and the Bransons, you know, and those folks that are kind of got their fingers on the pulse that are driving this. Listen, I just saw the story today that there was the paralyzed dude that's got the Neuralink implant, and he was
hmm
playing chess with his mind. I just saw that story today. Man, we not almost there. We there. So
we there.
are we moving fast enough or too fast? And do you think that there should be some oversight in terms of what's going on with the utilization of artificial intelligence within our society today?
And I think you hit on the key thing, James. The oversight has got to catch up with the actual capabilities of where we are, and we're moving so fast. Hold on.
Hold on, man. What you using? What you using? A Canon or something? Oh, I done
Oh,
told this man to
what
switch
the,
over to Sony. He over there using Canon
oh,
or
what the word?
Nikon. Lord have mercy.
Lord have mercy. Now I
Yeah,
got to go down.
this definitely not going on LinkedIn. I'm not listen. I'm not going to embarrass you like that.
Not
This
like
man,
that. Oh my God. Go full frame, James, while I pick it up.
he said, "Go see." This is why. So, folks, see, this is why one thing live will happen, but
See?
this is why I tell folks, if you're gonna do video, stop messing around and just go Sony. Don't. If you're a photographer and you're gonna take pictures, that's fine. Do your thing, but you got to go Sony because we don't have those overheating issues. We don't have those problems with sensors. Like I don't know whatever, but yeah, he's still not on right now. Lord have mercy. My man Eric wasn't. He said AI is taking over. AI done took over Butch's camera because he got to talking madness, and so his camera went off. So he back. So I'm gonna quit messing with him, and then I'm gonna bring Florence's question on to talk about this. She says, "You know what the
Not,
technology is really doing? Not solely the interface, sitting in front of the core." Interesting. You good, brother?
yeah, I'm good.
Okay,
I found
okay.
James. We good.
All right. Go.
It's
Come
the
on
battery.
now. Oh my gosh, it's his batteries. Lord have mercy.
Lord have mercy. Give me that question one more time. Man,
Your question. Are we moving too fast or
Hmm.
moving fast enough with the utilization of generative AI within society? And do
Hmm.
you think that there should be some oversight, some oversight from a regulations perspective, or someone watching Elon and Richard and Jeff and all those other cats that are actually kind of at the forefront of that. Just your personal opinions on that. There's obviously no right or wrong answer, but again, folks, also in the comments, feel free to put yours as well.
I think there's a lot to do with the oversight, and I think that's got to drive a motion that's got to happen a lot faster. Oversight is falling behind development, and we're building oversight for a place where we are, as opposed to taking oversight and looking for where we could be or where we're going. Um, and so there's always going to be a little bit of a risk, and the code actually helps with that because it's transparent, open code. So where those codes are developed and they're open, you get a chance to kind of go like, okay, we've all looked at it, we've all signed off on it. It's all using APIs. We're all good. Uh, but in cases where some of that code is closed in some models today, we still have a little bit of a risk, and that's got to be the first anchor to that battle one. That's the anchor leg.
Right. I got you. Okay. Um, Organizations using technology to possibly replace employees. Machine can do
Hmm.
it much faster, kind of much cheaper too. I think when you look at it from a long term perspective, I almost wonder can a machine, can an algorithm do what it is that some folks do? Can it be cheaper? Do you
And
agree with that premise? And if you do, and if you don't, tell me why
yeah,
you don't agree with that.
yeah. There's standard algorithm work that a machine can do and do much faster and much more efficient.
Hmm.
It's quick. It is the difference between the windmill and the electric generator that we use today.
You
Night and day.
flashing back with the windmill, brother. Okay, you
Yeah,
flashing
yeah.
back
I
now.
mean, we used to depend on something that we no longer need. Those pages are gone, the CDs are gone. I go on and on and on. But the key is technology has never stood still, and it's not going to stand still now. AI is new, it's exciting, it's all the rage, but it's evolving as we speak. Every
Hmm.
week there's a new release, right?
Yeah. So I guess with that evolution, and now I want to reach out to the youngster out there. What can we tell folks that are just now getting ready to come into the job market, getting ready to leave college, getting ready to folks maybe getting ready to switch careers?
Hmm.
What do you think are some skills? Right, again, and we're kind of dinosaurs, right? We've been around for a minute, but we've continued to maintain our relevance by staying certified, by going to our global technology, right? By going and doing all the things that we need to do. But someone new coming into this industry, wanting to stay and be relevant, what are the kind of skills? Are they all technical and hard skills, or are you also seeing maybe some?
There,
That was a leading question right there. So I knew, knowing you, I knew where to go with that question. So what are the skills that you
yeah,
think someone to be successful in today's and tomorrow's technology world?
I think a lot of them are technical when we need to understand the technology, but understanding that the technology is evolving faster than ever.
Hmm.
So, learning the skills of coding, that's going to be replaced by a large language model. Uh,
Hmm.
Learning, certain characteristics that we used to depend on are now going to be less significant. Uh, Leaning into security, leaning into business acumen, occupational awareness of what's going on with HR, finance, all of those key decisions, and helping in project managing and helping groups work better together. Because the next generation are those who understand how to use this technology to ask better questions. And that's the generation that we're breeding. The next generation is going to be like, they're not going to take anything for granted. They're going to see the mouse and they're going to go, hey, I got a mouse here. I wonder why I still have to plug it in on the bottom.
Why
I
you
can
picking on Apple like that? Just I
I
mean,
just think
okay.
I can change it. I can change it, right?
That's true. That's true. And I like what Florence is saying here is what she's saying. Soft skills are super important paired
Yeah.
with the hard skills because someone's got to be able to explain it. right?
Hmm.
Yes, we need both sides. We need to use left and right side of the brain. Someone's got to be able to code it. Someone's got to be able to articulate that to the
Right.
masses as well, to the
Right.
non-technical folks.
And the coding just got a little easier, but it didn't go away. Right. We still need someone to build the code. Now we can ask artificial intelligence to help us with that process, but it's still got to be proofed. It's still got to be proven, and it's still got to be improved upon.
Hmm, that's a good point. Are you are you okay with it where we are right now?
And
A
I,
friend a
I'm
friend of mine always says you have to embrace the technology, right? Because it's coming whether you like it or not. So shouts
oh,
out to my guy Tall Boy. He always says a statement like that during his show. How are
mhm.
you with where we are today and where you see us going? Are
Yeah.
you watching? Are you having reminiscence of the movie War Games? I just
I,
flashed back for real on that one.
you went all the way back, didn't you? Yeah. The understanding that the future is all around us. It's just that we haven't realized quite as a group where we are in that future. I'm excited about where it is in the speed, um, because to me it puts us in the place technically where everything is about to change, and we still have the ability to be very relevant in the next future generation,
Hmm,
next future opportunities, uh, new businesses. The creatives are about to lose their minds because all of the things that used to hold us back are now like electricity. Want to build a website? I want to build a website. There it is. I need a logo.
hmm.
There it is. So all of a sudden, we can be very, very quick to get the stuff that doesn't matter out of the way. So we can focus on the strategy, the
That's good right
partnership,
there.
and all the things that really make business work.
Yeah. That's good right there because you see the little dude right here below me. It took a few prompts and I tweaked the prompt. It took me about 45 minutes, less than an hour, to generate this dude right here that's below me. And again,
See?
I could have no, I couldn't have drawn it. I'm not that good.
Yeah,
I
you're
could
good.
have hired a designer. I could have gone through Fiverr or Upwork or somewhere else. But now I've got uh, what is it? I use
Yeah.
Microsoft's Designer.
Oh,
Man,
yeah.
shouts out to Microsoft, man. I'm an Apple dude at heart, but Microsoft, they the
They come
truth,
out. Yeah, they come
because Gemini can't get us right for some reason. That you saw how Gemini tried to draw the fountain. We
I
got
saw
we
that.
got.
I saw that.
So I
I'm
didn't even
not
mess with Gemini.
not as sure. Yeah, I don't know if that's our final, but you know what? I've been a fan of Mid Journey.
Come on
Uh,
now, let's talk about it a little bit.
I got the magazine, and these two things are to me like between that and the Harvard Business Review are to me that's the science and the business that keep me going. Every time I look at them, and so seeing where this product has come from, I've got every issue, and to see it today, it just blows your mind. It's creating stuff you would never consider, having built before. This is the new future, man.
It's almost like you had the questions that I was going to ask. But you did, but we deviate a little bit, but we're going down the right path because I was literally going to ask you, being again, so not just being a technologist with the suit and tie. Well, we don't wear suit and ties anymore, but being a technologist on the enterprise side, but you're also a content creator. You're also an entrepreneur. You're also a creative. Let's talk a little bit more in terms of how you're using technology from the creative side. Because again, when you showed
Mhm.
one magazine, come on now, you got your own magazine too. Let's not be humble.
Well,
Listen, we got folks watch. We got folks watching now. Let's not be humble. The man, you got your own magazine as well, and your own photography skills
man,
are definitely above par. So, how has that evolved? Come on, let's talk about you now.
here's the thing, and I have always been one that I like to work on different things, different projects. I learn. That's how I breathe with all the different opportunities. But now, as a husband, father, time gets short real
Mm,
quick. I don't have as much time in the day.
yeah,
Here's what I found out: AI can call my images for me better than I can. I can go shoot 4,000 frames for a wedding. AI can call it down to 800 before I finish the meal. I'll look through that 800 and have AI do the first pass on the edit,
Mm.
making sure colors are right and all that takes another 10 minutes. That used to take me 12, 14 hours. I could take that wedding and turn it around and put it back in their hands before they go to bed. At worst case, it's there before they get up. So imagine the same wedding that it used to take me 72 hours, 2 weeks to deliver is back in their hands within 24 hours. And that's what I stand behind. And
Okay.
AI possible.
Now let me ask this: was the reason that it took so long? And I'm gonna put you on the spot. Was it because you were in your own way and you were trying to be a perfectionist? This is not a therapy session right here. But I want to ask the question. Maybe I'm talking to myself. I'm doing the Michael Jackson, looking at the man in the mirror. Was it because it took you so long because you were tweaking and turning all the dials and all the knobs trying to get it to a specific point, or did you see that there was more value in, again, training a prompt, training an algorithm, and telling a system, telling Gemini or Midjourney or Perplexity or whatever the case may be, build me
Mhm.
something and
Right.
let me get that out when it's done, and that way I'm a faster time to market, and
Right.
I can meet my customers' needs fast. I can iterate faster by getting out of my own way. Just a
That's it.
curious question.
That's it.
Okay.
Your customer's looking for an outcome. They want a picture. They'd like that picture as fast as possible. They'd like to put it up on social. Maybe they only need 4 or 5 pictures just to get it started. But they like to realize that after they reached out to you, you're going to be able to deliver them something that is of the quality they expect and with the time frame that they expect, and kindly make sure that they're happy at the end of the process. That's the
Mm.
job of photography. Real simple. So if I can get out of my own
And
way,
videography. So, and overall content creation. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but again, because I got a handful of folks, a lot of folks within my community are content creators, entrepreneurs, and solopreneurs as well. So I'm trying to get folks to, again, use that statement that I just said, getting out of our own way. It doesn't have to be fine-tuned, detailed to your perspective. Make just as long as it's good for the end customer, as long as they are happy with the end result. Why are you gonna
right?
spend all night working on a listen, man? I'm pointing the mirror at myself. All right, I'm sorry, Reggie. I see you, brother. Hey,
But yeah, I mean,
stop talking about my logo. I'm gonna be wearing that in Vegas next week, brother. Okay, go ahead.
and AI now can look at the clips and find the ones that are most relevant, organize them in the proper order, and give you back a reel like that.
Yeah,
Drop the mic.
that's true.
That's
That's
one of
true,
those
man.
moments. You
That's
just gotta have to.
oh, listen, see, don't
You gotta
see.
throw it out there, right?
Listen, you're already messing with that cannon over there. Don't get to pushing a whole lot of buttons. See, you already saw what happened when you try to get too fancy, right? This is I'm a blue collar dude, right? I just do what I do, but you want to go over there pushing all these buttons. Let's bring up this question for Reggie because this is actually some good stuff. He
Mhm.
says, "What would you say to all those young folks going to school right now, learning to code?" And we kind of talked a little bit about that, but that's a great question to go back in because we didn't specifically
Mhm.
talk about coding. But what's your thought on that?
I would say this is the safe route. For me, I would learn to code and I'd also add a secondary. So just like when we went to school, when we weren't sure about engineering and we said, I'm going to get an electrical engineering degree along with a biomedical engineer. I don't know where this thing's going to go, but I want to cover my bases. If you're going into and learning to code, pick up some extra classes on security or pick up some classes on becoming a finance expert or an MBA. Start taking courses that balance that out so that you can be just a dual threat at everything that you do. One of the best friends that I've got in technology, I met as a technologist, and he went back, he got an MBA, and then he went back and got a law degree. And
Wow. Okay.
I mean, you talk about one of the brightest minds I've ever really walked with. His name is Michael Moore, and he's the grandson of Catherine Moore from Hidden Figures.
Yeah. Wow.
She, dude, you talk about the genius.
Okay. Runs in the bloodline.
Oh, So,
That's
I
pretty
mean,
cool.
occasionally, and it inspires me every time, but it lets me know, don't get comfortable with where you are. Keep
Mm,
going. Keep being relevant. And if you feel like you're stagnated, find somebody to help.
that I like. That I like. Reggie, appreciate that question there. And Honest Accomplice Dan says that, Reggie, that hopefully we as a society will stop requiring a degree for them to get a job in high tech coding.
Ah,
Mm. Hey,
yes.
Dan, I was gonna try to keep these shows short, but man, I may have to. You may have to come online right now, and we may have to continue that dialogue right there because that's a good discussion to
Yeah,
have.
yeah, the degree process now with all the tools is going to be at risk because learning is about to hit a metasphere and not just college. I'm talking everything from medicine, everything you can imagine is about to shift over to a video based learning opportunity.
Yeah.
So degrees and all of that have to be rethought. Um, I put on the technical lens and go, what would be ideal in the future? What would college look like? you know, diverse
What
group.
and where, right? Does it have to be at an institution? And again, listen, y'all know my wife is in education, so I'm all about higher learning and all of that as well. But and I've got all the
Yeah.
certifications, but I work best. I do what I do on a day to day basis at the day job from actually doing it. Right,
Yes.
going out
Yes.
there, breaking something, putting it back together, getting in front of the room, doing my jazz hands, having those conversations, as opposed to just being in a room looking at a workbook. Right, I don't learn as well there. I can still get it,
Mhm.
but I would much rather go somewhere in front of a customer, in front of a partner, in front of whomever, and actually do the thing, and
Right.
then get
Right.
and
Right.
get feedback, criticism, encouragement, all that stuff right on the spot from someone, and then I can iterate and do better next time. I'm just that. I don't know if that's a left brain or right brain or whatever the case may be. And I think
No. No.
having those options.
Yeah. I mean, that is the thing that makes you relevant. That's the thing that wakes you up, thinking, okay, how can I do that job better? I mean, I work with groups of companies, partners all the time. And every time I meet a new one, I reflect on all the ones I've worked with in the past, and they
Hmm.
always inspire me. They always are doing something just a little different. They're pushing the envelope a little harder. And it gets me inspired to get up every day because I know everything that's going to meet us is coming together really quickly and it's coming together to change the whole landscape.
So how do we stay aware? All right, I guess I'll bring that. What advice do you have for kind of in alignment with what Reggie was asking? But what kind of advice do you have for listeners and viewers to stay informed, to stay
Mhm.
aware, to stay relevant in this ever
Mhm.
changing technology landscape? Is it
You're,
just
you
keeping the TV on CNBC and watching watching YouTube? Watch this channel. I don't know about the other channels that you watch it, but watching YouTube videos or subscribing
you know,
to CIO magazine and CRN magazine, whatever the case may be. What are your thoughts for staying abreast of what's going on?
I still learn a lot from blogs, but I learn a lot more from YouTube. YouTube University has been a blessing to me on every case. Whenever I'm searching for the answers, somebody on YouTube has built it, done it, thinking in the same direction. That's my
Hmm.
first stop. And there's a lot of secondary schools that are available. Udemy is another one where it's really where you can get involved in some free classes to get you moving toward a thing. But here's what I would recommend: go to ChatGPT, tell it to act like an instructor, and give you a 6 week curriculum of only online courses to teach you how to program in R. That
Man,
is how
right
you use
there.
large
There go the show
models.
right there. There's the gem drop right there. Right. There's the value right there. There's your call to action. Everyone's
Use
got chat GP. You don't even have to pay for
it.
premium or pro.
Don't need it. That's a free way of saying I need to stay up on what's new, and it'll point to all the videos that are free, all of the pamphlets that are free, and over the period of time that you let them give it 6 weeks or whatever, it'll give you the daily agenda and a curriculum that balances out for what you want to learn.
And then you just have to have the onus and the motivation, because I never feel I feel I can't motivate somebody else. You got to be self motivated. I can help encourage, and I can push you in the right direction, but you have to be self
Sure.
motivated. But now that you got
You're
that,
right.
now that you got the recipe, now it's time for you to go and start cooking with it. God, let
That's
me
it.
hear what I said,
That's all
Lord.
we do.
Well, we about to start preaching up in here in a minute. Okay, let me look at these comments. Florence was saying, with AI, the entry level roles are going to be fewer and harder to get. That is very true. That's very
Hmm.
and
Oh yeah.
that there's pros and cons to that, right?
Hmm.
I'm a big Mike Rowe dude. I love what he did with Dirty Job, right? And I understand that we need the folks that are out there doing those types of jobs.
Hmm.
I love. Listen, if I didn't have a plumber or a landscaper or a pool, if I didn't have all that stuff, I know how to do it. Or someone to lay concrete and do electrical. Those roles need to
Yeah.
be in place as well.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
a lot of the things that even in those roles that they do are starting to be replaced by smarter technology. We're starting, just saw a story the other day, even about farmers, right? Starting to be more and more conversations about replacing the human element. No
Hmm.
human wants to be out there at 4 o'clock in the morning picking fruit in the
Right. Right.
rain.
Right.
Maybe that's just me.
Yeah. But
Why not send a drone out there to go out there and pick these strawberries? But so again,
see,
someone who can program that, someone who can manage that first person view of that drone flying out there, drone flying
hmm
up to the top of a windmill and doing that inspection. Those are the skills that need to be learned. And
yes.
we need to provide those skills, I think, from a learning perspective at a reasonable cost as well. Because it's not their, I don't think it's their fault. I don't think it's anyone's fault who is in one of those manual labor types of roles that society is shifting so
Oh,
fast.
yeah. And robotics have taken over factories. I mean, it goes on, James. That's true. That's so true. But think about this: when you're looking for opportunities, when you're looking for work, look at the companies that are building things that don't yet really exist. For example, when the internet showed up, we all had a good way to go find documents and stuff on other people's computers
Hmm.
and learn from each other. It was Uber that said, how can I apply this to change the taxi industry? Wait a minute. How can I apply this to change the way food is delivered? Wait a minute. Can I deliver pharmacy? Can I? Wait a minute. Can I? What can I not deliver?
That's
And
true.
suddenly Uber takes a technology that we're all taking for granted and puts it to use in a way that nobody thought was needed. Those are the companies, those are the ideas that are going to blow your mind with AI. It's not the people that are going to know how to use the AI, it's the folks that are going to use AI in ways that we never imagined possible, you know, ever. It's going to
That's
ask the
true.
question that the questions you really need to know every time. It's going to ask those questions for me. I'm on this diet. Give me every place I need to eat and everything I don't need.
Man, right? And you can do that today. And as you were going down that, I cannot imagine my life as much as I am 35,000 foot up in a plane. And when I land, so I cannot imagine my life without Uber or Lyft.
See, yeah,
At all. To today, I can't. I would not even be able to exist. And also Uber Eats and DoorDash, because they coming by tonight. Just so y'all know, yeah, DoorDash is coming by. Right, it is what it is. But that has now become more of
yeah.
a norm.
That's what's got my wife. She goes crazy because every time she asks for something, I go like, yeah, I'll Instacart that. It'll be
See,
here in 30
you
minutes.
got that good money. See, he Instacart. I'm still over here Uber Eats and DoorDash. Instacart is
Oh,
that's guys.
oh,
You must have got a nice little bonus there on the okay. Okay, I'll leave that alone.
okay. Okay.
Let's see. Quip Institute Florence says, consider this: you check into a hotel, and the check-in process is all what is it? RPA from the time you say you're arriving, and you never get to check in you never have to check in at the desk.
Hmm.
That's true.
Why should you? This.
I'm gonna be in Vegas next week. I'm not planning on going to the checkout desk unless I get in trouble. Reggie, watch out for me. Make sure I don't get in trouble. But I'm gonna check in with my code on my phone, my digital key. Don't have to go see anybody. because
And
I don't like people. I don't want to go talk to anybody anyway.
you should already know that when
Man, look at this.
you pick up your phone. How many times a day has your phone been picked up at the same time? Had you go to the same websites, look at the same email? Do you think your phone by now doesn't know your habits and can't anticipate that when you pick it up at 8 o'clock, you want to see the mail? Do I need to open up the app, or should the app already be ready for me?
So, boy, watch yourself now. So, okay, right there, and then I'm gonna be cognizant of your time because again, I want to keep these in bite-sizable nuggets because you didn't answer the part. I'm not gonna let you get off on it. I'm not gonna let you get off easy. You didn't answer the part about
Sure.
regulation of that, right? Because that's a lot of insight. That's a lot of information. That's a lot
Man,
of either data that's either stored on your device, like someone like an Apple says that they pride themselves on, or it goes out to somebody's cloud and then it transcodes that and it does some processing and then maybe sends you some targeted messaging and things of that nature. That's a
hmm
lot of know-how and know about of a Butch McCracken that you
Oh,
have no control over. You can opt in
yeah,
and you can opt out, but by
right, right.
default, everything is opt in.
Yes.
So you
That
have to
and
physically go in and say, you know what? No, I don't want you Facebook looking at all the friends and every time I send uh, Florence a message
on every,
on Instagram, whatever. Right. So what are your
yeah,
thoughts about having someone sit in a chair or in a conference room and say no, 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 maybe not
yeah.
this, some regulation?
I'm going to err on the side of simplicity.
Hmm.
I'm going to say yes, yes, yes. I'm going to let everybody have what they need to have because I can turn off this platform and that platform, not realizing the cookies from these platforms are still on my computer and they're tracking my travel habits. Or maybe Alexa heard me ask for the tickets to Greece, and the next time I look an email, suddenly there's a ticket to Greece option for me. So I'm not going to second guess the technology. I'm going to leverage the technology as though it's a no collar AI assistant. That's all I'm going to use it for.
See,
And so
again though, but you showing off. See, I'm going to Vegas. You going to Greece?
I want
Yeah,
to go to Greece. I want to go. I
okay.
want to go.
See,
Not this booked yet, but as we
uh,
speak,
I'm, I need to figure something out there. I'm going to Vegas. You going to Greece? What is happening with that right there? Reggie's saying, back in 1998, don't get in car with strangers. 2008, don't meet
yeah,
people from the internet on the internet alone. 2019, Uber, order
yeah,
yourself a stranger from the internet to come to your front door.
and drop off your food, which you trust is going to be safe when you eat it.
Yeah.
We're in a new world.
Not even, again, not even sanctioned, not even certified like a taxi driver is. The taxi cab company is 3 doors down from where the Uber picks you up, and they're bonded, certified, licensed, and all that.
We
They
don't want to mess
cost
with them.
they cost
Yeah,
$1.50 more.
but they don't have an app. They don't have an app. It's about my convenience, man. You know, that's the
That's
only
that's
way.
very
I
that's
mean,
very telling though, man. That's very telling, right? Again, I would rather, just like Reddy, I would rather get in a car with Bob down the road who says, I want to go make some extra bucks at night in his
mhm,
old beat up Nissan.
mhm.
Probably don't have insurance. Well, I think Uber checks if you have insurance, but may
Yeah,
have
they
a
know.
couple of warrants out for us. I don't want to talk bad about nobody, but again, maybe a little shady cat, but
It could be.
not licensed, not bonded, not anything of that nature like a taxi driver is. That, but you're going to
But
get in the car with Bob at 2 o'clock
now
in the morning and have them take you to the airport just because
flip it.
it's more convenient because you got the app.
I flip it the other way. Let's talk about Bob, and he's got he's
I'm
got three
sorry for
kids.
anybody named Bob out there because we picking on you. Shouts out to you, Bob.
But maybe Bob's got a kid he wants to put in college, and he's not quite where he needs to be, and so he's got a full time gig, but he's working a little part time money, so he can set up his child for an education.
Okay.
Shout out to Bob.
Okay.
If I can give Bob a little tip and a nod, and have him come to my house and go
Oh, I'm not
like,
gonna give no tip.
"Cool."
Oh, sorry. I'm not gonna get no tips on you.
Oh, come on, now. Come on, Bob need a
Nah,
tip.
I give them. I give everyone 4 or 5 stars. See, again,
Okay,
these squirrel moment here, but I don't know. I'm not gonna give you no tip.
that's good.
No.
No, I mean, I'll give him a little. I mean, I try.
No.
I try to look at it like this.
Well, see, there you go
If
again. I'm Vegas. You're Greece. See, there's the
if I
thing.
gotta leave the house, it's a whole different animal. Because your time is worth money, right? We know.
There it is, right there. You're back
Hmm.
to the whole convenient thing right there. I got the app. I can either schedule it. I can just real quickly. Time is money.
Right. You don't cut your own lawn. Do you cut your own lawn?
I do. I do, man. I
I'm
do.
not going to say it, but have you ever been out there and wondered if maybe you could have been or would rather be doing another service during that time?
That's true. Yeah, okay, but again, see, I'm also cheap. I was gonna try to find a better word. I was gonna say frugal, but no, I'm cheap too. So I do my own.
Technology, our technology ain't cheap. We gotta put something in, right? I understand. I understand. But I know your time. I know an hour of James Hicks time.
Well, it's expensive. Okay.
See, as it should be. Because after you get done with that hour, you
Yeah,
save how many years? All them years of going down the wrong path. In an hour, you just got put on the right road and
there you
above
go, right there.
everybody, right?
Yeah,
That's it.
there it is, right there. There it is. There's the value. There's the lesson in the message, folks. So
Yeah.
bringing it back, bringing this plane in, bringing it back to the conversation at hand. Stay abreast of what's going on in the world, especially in terms of technology. Go do the Coursera's and the Udemy's and the LinkedIn learnings, and don't try to do it alone. As well as what I tell a lot of folks as well. Trying to do anything alone, it's gonna take you longer.
Mhm.
But get yourself around an inner circle of folks who have either succeeded, have either failed, who are at least doing something, who are at least trying. Don't be
Yeah.
stagnant. Right? Don't be stagnant, but find yourself around some folks that are actually doing some things that you can piggyback off of and learn from as well. So I really like that. I really like that. Valuable. Reddy says it's valuable. That road will be a turnpike. Oh, see, Kevin, I'm trying to bring the plane in and see Kevin, but see, Mr. Cox
See,
know how to get me going. He know how to get me riled up. Okay.
yeah. See,
That's a
James,
true statement right there too.
yeah, you are part of my AI package, man. Listening to what you come up with and all the people that you interview, that's that's got to be part of the package. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. So you don't listen to you and not get something out of it in return every time.
I had to raise my rates. Oh, I appreciate you for that, man, because this was a brainchild that I had of mine. So I'm gonna put it in this perspective again. I said it at the beginning. Um, Having a fresh perspective on technology and how it affects society. I think we need to have conversations about one or two topics at a time and to go much deeper into it.
Yeah.
And not just having me and the subject matter expert to my side here, but engaging with the community as well. And hopefully someone takes some bit of nugget from this message and goes out there and applies it to themselves as they move forward. That's the core, that's the premise of code and commentary. If you like what I'm doing, let me know. If you don't like what I'm doing, let me know as well. So I'm going to get better. Butch, tell the folks where they can find you, man, because you out there doing good things as well.
Ah, James, man, I tell you what, you can find me at Butch McCracken just about everywhere. I'm on Instagram. I'm on YouTube. Yeah, I'm still on the YouTube. I'm still on Twitter, but at Butch McCracken with an I, everywhere you can find me. And I love hooking up and talking about technology, but I also love the creative side of it. So all concepts, all discussions are open.
Awesome, brother. I will make sure to put a link to your properties in the description, and we will connect soon, man. I think I'm gonna bring you back so we can have this conversation in another date. All right, brother. Be good to yourself. I appreciate you now.
All right. Thank you
We
so much, James.
we out.